Hi guys, so I'm going to ask you 4 questions. Can buying luxury ever be classed as sensible? Have our buying habits changed over the years? If so, why? Can we ever reach purse peace? And why are so many luxury YouTubers turning their backs on luxury? Let's let's explore all of this. Let's get going. So let's kick off with the question of, can buying luxury ever be classed as sensible? Now, to some people, they will say absolutely not. It's frivolous, it's materialistic, it's disgusting, it's tone deaf, all those things that, because we're talking about money, and whenever we talk about money or luxury items, things that are not necessities, it gets under people's skin and off we go. However, I'm here to tell you that there are ways that it can absolutely be classed as sensible. So here are my thoughts. So I thought I might bring a little bit of eye candy to the situation. So this is the beautiful Birkin 30. It's in Clemence leather and it's in a colour called Blue Onk and it's with gold hardware. Now, this, as we all know, is an absolute classic. We're not going to talk about how easy or difficult it is to get your hands on one of these. However, could you call me sensible for buying this? Some people would say absolutely not. To spend the amount that you spent on a handbag is absolutely crazy. What else could you do with that money? There's a million things you could do with it. However, I knew when I bought this that I could walk out of the store, because I got this direct from store, and I could sell this easily for double the amount that I paid. Might even be more than double. So is that sensible or is that frivolous? So I look at it this way, that if I choose things that are like a savvy thought process behind them, and if I never buy a bag in order to sell it, ever. But if I had to sell it or wanted to sell it, it is a nice, comfortable thought that I could sell this for a lot more than I paid for it. So it is actually an investment. Weirdly, however you want to think of it, it is a handbag, but it is an investment. And these type of bags, and whether we talk about the Kelly, the Birkin, the Constance, the Hermes bags, yeah, they go up in value. They just do. So even with time value of money and everything else, these will go up in value. So I hope that these are part of a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, a little bit of a legacy that I can give to my girls. And they have got something. And if they choose to sell them in the future, they can do so. And hopefully it will provide them with a little bit of money. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? And I hope they just pass them down the generations. However, this is a classic, timeless piece. So I'm not buying one of these every day. It's not fast fashion. I'm not buying from a brand that is classed as fast fashion. So yeah, could that be classed as sensible? I'm buying, a beautiful, very expensive item that I will keep forever. It's not overconsumption. It's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of items and it's not fast fashion. So yeah, maybe you would class this as sensible. I think another example of being, I suppose, sensible in how you buy, even though it is luxury items, is this. This is my Alma, and this is from 20 odd years ago. And Louis Vuitton are still selling this exact bag. Yes, they've changed some of the interiors, but the essence of the bag is still there. Damietta Bean is still there. The Alma is still there. The size of this is still there. So what does that tell you? I have bought this and I've used this such a lot. So we all talk about cost per wear. This has been worth every single penny that I paid for it all those years ago. And I am still using it, and it is still a classic to this day. And while we're on the subject, this is my new, I was so excited for my new bag. This is the Speedy 20, and this is in the bandolier style with the crossbody, and this is in the Damier Azur. Now, again, I've only just bought this, but this was available when I bought this. Probably not in the Azure actually, but for sure in the Ebene, and definitely in the Monogram. And yeah, I never bought a Speedy because back in the day you tended to be Team Alma or Team Speedy. However, this was available then. So the fact that I'm buying this 20 odd 30 years later just shows you that this style is still going. It's still going strong at Louis Vuitton. So is this sensible? You know, I think there is a little bit of an argument to say that if you buy classic timeless pieces, and it doesn't mean you have to buy those, buy what you love. And if you don't like the classic pieces, please do not buy them. However, it can be classed as sensible, I think, of something that you can keep forever, use all the time, and it's just timeless. So that leads on to my next question, which is, have our buying habits changed? Well, I think they've changed a lot. I mean, my habits have changed over the years, and it depends on so many different factors, doesn't it? It depends on the cost of living, it depends on your lifestyle, it depends on where you are in your life at this time. It depends whether you, I don't know, have changed your tastes, whether your financial situation is different. It could be for the worse, for the better. There's so many reasons why our buying habits change. I think we went through a period of buying very sensible things, keeping them, using them forever. So when I was growing up, there was no fast fashion. If you bought something, you wore it, you then passed it down to somebody else. I always wore my sister's clothes. You know, I was a year, nearly 2 years younger than my sister, and so I got her clothes, and that's what you did. And then when I grew out of them, you passed them to a family member or a friend or something. And when I had my girls, you did the same thing. Now it seems to be a shift, or there has been a shift towards fast fashion, much cheaper options. And what's happened, you can buy these things in Primark, and you can buy them in Sainsbury's, and you can buy them in Asda, and because they are so inexpensive to the consumer, they become a little bit more throwaway. So, if something gets a little bit dirty at nursery, you can chuck it because it was only a couple of pounds or something. So we've led ourselves into this little bit of an industry of fast fashion. There's then been a little bit of a shift more recently against fast fashion, and looking at, making sure that it's ethical, how things are made and how people are treated within the workplace. There's been a shift away from fast fashion into more sustainable options. So are we going back into the world of buying more, not necessarily luxe items, but we're talking about more quality items? So you may be spending more, but it's less items. Or is it that you're spending less in total? So I did a video about how many bags that we all buy in a year. So have a look at that, because we touched on some of this then. I think the emergence and the re-emergence, if you like, of resellers in the luxe market has changed the industry massively. So because you can't get hold of these, or because people do want to recycle their items and be able to sell them in order to buy something else, has that promoted a culture of overconsumption? Because you will buy something because you can sell it later, so you will go ahead and buy it rather than thinking it through a little bit more. The fact that people do a one in one out system, does that create this industry of buying and selling? So there's a lot of transactions going on. Or you could look at it in a completely different way of saying that's fantastic that you are actually able to recycle your items and ensure somebody else gets the use of that when it's sat on a shelf for you. So you can realise a bit of money for it. That person can get a little bit maybe of a bargain for something. And actually it gives it, the life of the item keeps going. So yeah, I think it has changed over the years. The reseller market is crazy now. It really, really is. That leads us nicely on to, can we ever reach purse peace? Well, the answer is no. I don't think so. I think if you love luxury items, I think you're probably always going to love luxury items. There are people that go through phases where they're like, no, I'm done. I don't want to buy these things anymore. It's frivolous, or it's tone deaf, or I think people do go through phases, and we'll come on to that as well. However, for me, I know I will never reach first piece because, and I'll tell you why it's not a bad thing as well. Because for me, I love the whole industry. It's not about the item, it's not about the thing, because the thing is just a material thing. But if it's something you enjoy doing, and I'm not talking about shopping, I love shopping. It's a little bit of a pastime. It's just shopping. However, what I'm in is I love the industry. So I love studying fashions and trends, knowing about the brands, knowing about the colours, the textures, the fabrics that are used, the techniques that are used, the heritage of the companies and the brands. I like to learn and to research and to see what's happening, how to put outfits together, how to mix high fashion with lower end pieces and high street pieces. And at the end of the day, I just enjoy all of it. So for me, I will never reach first piece because the end of the line isn't the minute you pick up this bag and start using it and the fact that you've bought it. For some people, they would say, you've only just bought that and you haven't used it yet and you're on to the next one already. And that you're just so unappreciative and ungrateful. And yeah, you don't appreciate all your things because you're on to the next thing. You're just not using and loving the things that you've got. And that for me is not true at all. And I've tried to explain this now. Some people will not get it, you just won't get it, and that's okay. But this is how I feel. I enjoy all of the aspects of the industry. So when I'm thinking about the next thing, it's not necessarily a matter of spending or a matter of buying and having to have items. It's I like to research and be part of it. So I'm always looking at what's coming next. So because I enjoy that, it looks to off from the outside as if I am, yeah, I'm on to the next thing already, but I'm not on to the next thing. I'm just always in the industry and always looking. So take that for what it is. I don't know. For me, there isn't first piece because new trends are always coming, new seasons, the seasons change, the trends change, fashions change. There's new innovative ideas, technologies, fabrics, techniques. There's all sorts of new things that are always evolving. And I love that. I love that. But also, on top of that, I'm evolving. I'm getting older. Can you believe it? I'm getting older. My lifestyle may have changed. My buying habits and my thoughts and feelings when I was 20 is different to when I'm 50. And so it should be. My life has changed. I am older. I am gravitating to different types of things, and that's how it should be. And also at the same time, my lifestyle has changed, as in I no longer go to a corporate office every day. I no longer go and see clients. And because of that, the things that I wear and I use change. So I no longer need a briefcase and things like that. I no longer need to carry a laptop around with me or papers or files. So different things can affect the things that you're looking for and things that you're gravitating to. And that is exactly how it should be. It's not a bad thing. Let people be who they are. And that leads us on to why are so many luxury YouTubers turning their backs on luxury content? Now, I've seen quite a few recently, and I think you all know who they are. They've either have a crisis of conscience that this is all tone deaf, or they're maybe in a different financial situation and I don't know, they change, they evolve, they grow, they get older, different things become a priority. And to me, is how it should be. I don't think the luxury community, if you like, is dying. It's just evolving and changing all the time. There's different people coming into the space, there'll be people that leave the space. And I think it's all good. Do whatever you want to do. If you're one of those really big YouTubers, I'm sure none of them are watching this, but just in case you are, just go to whatever you gravitate to. It doesn't matter what it is. It's whatever you love and that brings the passion inside of you. Go pursue that. If you want to do content on well-being and health, or whether you want to do, just general vlogging, or you want to go into a completely different space about, I don't know, it can be anything at all. You don't have to explain it and justify it. Just do it. Just do whatever you want to do. But in the process of doing that, don't frown on anybody that still wants to be in the luxury space, because we all have a choice and we all should be able to follow our own choices, our own dreams, and our own thoughts. And that's as easy and it's simple as that. It's as simple as that. Whether some of the luxury YouTubers are jumping onto a trend where they are saying, I am listening to my audience, and yes, people are saying it's tone deaf to do lots of hauls and to spend money on luxe items when there's so much going on in the world. For me, if the luxury YouTubers are then feeling a different kind of way and they're starting to gravitate towards different things, then that's amazing. But don't jump on a trend because you think it's the thing that people are expecting you to do, because it just won't work. At the end of the day, my channel, I've always said, and I will always say, you do you. You choose what you want to do. You choose what you want to buy, what your buying habits are. If you want them to change, change them. If you don't, don't. It's nobody else's business apart from you. If you think you're a purse piece, amazing. I will never be, and it's not a bad thing, because I just love fashion and evolving and just seeing what else is coming. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on another one.